What's up, fam of Liberty, and everyone else who stumbles across this video who's not yet following our channel for some mystifying reason? It's your boy Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that's been steadily enraging, mouth-breathing oxygen thieves and MAGA fuckface ass clowns since 2015. Now, I usually do this 1-minute intro thing that thoroughly identifies who I am and what I believe, but I'm going to skip all that today. If you're one of those MAGA fuckface ass clowns that I frequently rant about, then you should probably pay some motherfucking attention to this video. I know, you're already reflexively in my comments about to try and have a go at Big Sarge, despite the fact that I will butt fuck your soul right out of your body. But just hear me out for a minute. We're going to talk about all those people that are being rounded up. Guys with names like Jose and Juan and Carlos, guys whose skin might be browner than yours. I know you have no understanding of cognitive dissonance or hypocrisy. For example, you voted for Donald Trump and shouted, "Build the wall!" But you don't care about your local construction companies hiring undocumented workers. You go to Mexican restaurants on Taco Tuesday, and you think Cinco de Mayo is a good time to get white girl wasted, or you hate and have no trust in the government whenever the liberals are in charge, but you love and trust the government when the conservatives are in charge. Or you love the Constitution when it comes to the Second Amendment, and the only other amendment that you think you know is the First Amendment, and you only know that when Facebook takes down your fake news, which they don't do anymore because Mark Zuckerberg is a simp for fascist authoritarians despite being a Jew. Or you talk a big game about states' rights until the Republicans are in power to force laws on blue states. You know, like the 2021 John Lewis Voting Rights Act that Republicans said they can't pass because election law is a states' right issue and not something to be centralized under the federal government. But y'all bootlicking simps sure don't have fuck all to say about states' rights when it comes to the SAVE Act. And oh, by the way, all y'all religious conservative fundy women with your baby voice bullshit that changed your last name to your husband's, guess what? You probably won't be able to vote the way that your husband tells you to vote because your last name no longer matches what's on your birth certificate. I bet you $10, all these mouth-breathing oxygen thieves out there jacking off over the idea of pwning the libs by requiring real ID and a birth certificate and a passport to vote are not only going to find their own conservative loved ones affected by this, but I bet these same chuckle fucks would have a goddamn coronary if suddenly all of those things were required to purchase a firearm. My constitutional rights to bear arms or my right to vote? Now look, from my perspective as a veteran who swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution and who lived by a code of core values which included loyalty, I'm somewhat of an expert on the subject of oaths and loyalty, which is why I go hard during April making fun of Confederate apologists. You can't worship your dead traitor ancestors at the same time talk a big game about loving America and waving the flag. The two sides literally fought a war started by traitors and lost by traitors. The two values are incompatible, but I digress. Now, at this point, you literally unambiguously cannot be loyal to both the Trump administration and the United States Constitution. If you are an American citizen, Trump has officially rendered your civil rights worthless. Why are Trump supporters okay with this? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. We know the answer. Why do you think that making America great means making it into a violent dictatorship? For everyone else that's actually concerned about this, you need to call all three of your elected representatives today and every day hereafter and tell them to put a stop to this. They need to act now. They need to defend the Constitution. And so do you. What did you think you were pledging allegiance to every single day in elementary school? Not Donald Trump. You pledged allegiance to the United States of America. I mean, technically it was the flag, but you get the point. Anyway, honor your pledge. Or was your word always fucking worthless? Was every single word of that all a lie to you, or does your integrity just sell that cheap? Y'all dumb motherfuckers probably also think that the Constitution doesn't apply to people who aren't citizens. It does. And you probably think that every brown-skinned person is a Mexican from El Salvador. They aren't. And that they should be shipped to a prison in El Salvador. So look, I know that you've been told that illegal immigrants are responsible for your mediocrity. You can't get a good job because immigrants are taking all those jobs, but let's be real, fam. If you don't have a job, that's not the immigrant's fault. We all know that you aren't going to go out and pick fruit and vegetables in the hot-ass sun for $1 an hour. And those guys aren't out there doing IT work. That IT work is people like me who do stuff on the internet a lot, or it's farmed out to somebody in India. And that's because of capitalism. Anyway, if you could swing a hammer and do roofing work, you'd be getting paid good money already. But here's the more important part. You don't get to say Well, they shouldn't have broken the law when laws are being broken to round up people that are already in this country legally. Don't sit there hammering your goddamn sausage fingers over the keys at people on the internet talking about the rule of law when the people that you fucking voted for don't respect the fucking laws in the first place. And not to put too fine a point on it, but if the administration says that they're going to start rounding up American citizens and deporting them, which is fucking illegal and unconstitutional in the first fucking place, then what's to say that they're not going to get tired of your bullshit and round you up too? Being a Trump supporter doesn't make you immune. Being a veteran doesn't make you immune. Being a U.S. citizen doesn't make you immune. We've seen veterans detained. We've seen Trump supporters detained. We've seen U.S. citizens being fucking detained. The only thing stopping them right now is the fact that you're probably white. That's literally it. The second that you become a liability or an other, the precedent has already been set. And don't give me any of your fucking bullshit about, oh, the Department of Justice will stop it. No, it won't. And don't give me any of your bullshit about, oh, the Supreme Court will stop it. No, the fuck it won't. Y'all motherfuckers need to wake the fuck up and smell what Big Sarge is cooking. We are not your enemy. And you are not our enemy, except for the fact that you voted these motherfuckers into office knowing full well what they were going to do because they fucking told you. We fucking warned you. We are not your enemy. Right now, the United States government is the enemy of every person who is physically in this country, except for maybe the fucking rich oligarchs and tech bros. The tech broligarchs, if you will, because who doesn't love a good portmanteau? I know some of you MAGA fuckface ass clowns out there have all the goddamn IQ of Big Sarge's shoe size or dick size, which you can see on Pornhub. So the words oligarch refer to a very rich business leader with a great deal of political influence, particularly with reference to individuals who benefited from the privatization of state-run industries. In other words, the fucking rich people. Remember Luigi? The guy most of you cheered for when it was alleged that he bodied a filthy rich health insurance company CEO? The guy they're talking about putting to death because how dare he allegedly upset the rich people who determine whether or not you live or die? Remember the alleged death panels that everyone made you afraid about a few elections ago? That shit is real. It's called the health insurance industry, and guess what? It's run by rich conservatives, not liberals. But Sarge, you may ask yourself, what's got you so spun up? They're a bunch of tattooed gangbangers who came to the country illegally. 2 words, motherfucker. Marwell Gutierrez, a 19-year-old asylum applicant who is legally and lawfully, and more importantly, law-abidingly living in the Bronx. He was recently swept up in an ICE raid. ICE agents even knew that he wasn't their target, and their leader guy said, take him anyway. Now, I know half of you MAGA dipshits don't know where half the states of the United States are, or where most other countries are on a map. And you think that everyone with brown skin and the name Jose is from Mexico. Everyone's a b***er to you because you're a bigoted fucking moron. But if you're still here and you're still watching this video, let me give you a geography lesson. Mexico is a country and Central America is a whole ass region of North America. You know, kind of like the South is a region. Anyway, Central America is made up of 7 independent sovereign nations. Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. And then there's this whole other place called South America, which is a whole ass continent. And it has like 12 different sovereign nations, several territories, and a whole bunch of offshore islands and stuff. Among all the places in South America are sovereign nations like Colombia, Venezuela, and Argentina. Marwell Gutierrez is from Venezuela, which is in South America. He came to the United States legally. In fact, he didn't cross the border until he had an appointment with an immigration officer that said, come see me. He came here the alleged right way that all you dipshits constantly complain about. He doesn't have any tattoos, not that it's illegal to have tattoos. He's not a member of a gang, has never been a member of a gang. He has not been making political speeches or posts on social media, not that it's illegal to do so. Yet. He has no criminal record in any country in the world. There was no arrest warrant, no charging document. There was nothing with his name on it. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong skin color. And yet the jackbooted Gestapo, ICE, swept him up anyway. And now he's in that infamous prison in El Salvador, which allegedly was only for criminals, terrorists, and gang members. His father can't get any documentation at all from the U.S. government. The government refuses to give it to him and is wholly unaccountable. Marwell, his father Wilmer, and his cousin Luis traveled from Venezuela to Juarez, Mexico, where they applied for and received the legal U.S. immigration status of temporary protected status. They were then allowed to legally enter the country in Texas, and they all 3 managed to find work in New York City. Again, legally working because they were given by the US government work permits and social security numbers, which allows them to pay taxes but not receive benefits. And let me be blunt here. If one single person in America doesn't have the right to due process, then neither do you. Like, I don't know how to fucking make it make sense to a dumb fuck that doesn't understand a goddamn thing except what their political cult leader tells them to. I can explain it to you, but apparently I can't understand it for you. So let's try a thing here. You can say all you like, I don't care if they're gang members and they don't have a right to a trial, they don't deserve it. And I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm the government. You're a gang member then. Get in the van, fucker. And you can say, no, I'm not, all you want, but I'm just gonna shrug, shoulder my rifle and say, prove it. Prove it without due process. Now, do you see the fucking dilemma here? Do you now understand why this is important and why the only person who doesn't give a fuck about due process is you? Do you understand why literally everyone else who isn't a goddamn brainless cultist, including people on the left, the right, the center, and the far left, actually care together? Because this isn't a partisan issue. The only person that it's an issue to, besides people now rotting in an El Salvador prison without any means of getting out, is you. And guess what, fam? Your clock is ticking too. It's only a matter of time. Tick-tock, motherfucker. Time for you to put an end to your enlistment in the culture war and start fighting alongside the rest of us. The Holocaust Encyclopedia defines a concentration camp as follows. What distinguishes a concentration camp from a prison, in the modern sense, is that it functions outside of a judicial system. The prisoners are not indicted or convicted of any crime by judicial process. That's a direct quote from people who are entitled to define what a Holocaust is because the Nazis eradicated some 13 million people. That definition is true for Marwell, and it is true for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And motherfucker, if you think that my tax dollars are going to support the United States government funding of concentration camps, then you got another thing coming, motherfucker. The United States government is illegally arresting legal migrants, illegally deporting them, and illegally incarcerating them in a concentration camp. Let me say that again. We are living in a nation that is abducting and deporting legal migrants and placing them in U.S.-funded extra-national concentration camps. And I don't give a flying fuck at your mom's rolling donut if you're a conservative or a liberal or a leftist who says they aren't in any party. I straight up do not give a single fuck who you are. If you support concentration camps, then you're a fucking Nazi. And you're an enemy of mine, and you're an enemy of free, law-abiding people everywhere. Nobody with any sort of moral conscience, whether it's created for you by the Bible or some other religious document, or whether you're just a morally inclined person because you don't need a deity to tell you to be a good person. Nobody should be supporting this. And all you Jewish people out there who say stuff like, never again. If you're supporting this, then fuck you too. And that doesn't make me an anti-Semite, so suck my girthy fat cock. It makes me a moral fucking person. I said it. Come at me, motherfucker. And at the end of all this, because fascism never lasts and the pendulum will swing from the right back to the left, when this is over and Democrats are back in office, I swear to fucking Christ, I swear to Allah, I swear to Hare Krishna and Vishnu and Thor and Zeus and Jupiter and every other fucking god on this fucking planet. As God is my witness, there had better be a fucking reckoning for this. I don't mean the limp dick, soft-handed, well, but he won the election bullshit from 2024. Hold these people accountable, all of them. The I was just following orders defense didn't work for the Nazis at Nuremberg. It didn't work for Lieutenant Calley at My Lai. And it goddamn sure better not fucking work for anyone in this administration. If you don't hold these people accountable, every single one of them that did not speak out and say, this is not right and I will not do this. If the fucking Democrats don't hold them accountable, then they are complicit in the violation of constitutional and human rights and they cannot be allowed to remain in office. Point fucking blank. Do not pass go. Game fucking over. Full fucking stop. The resistance starts with you. I'm skipping my obligatory disclaimers at the end. You can follow us on all the socials. They're listed all over the place. That's my time for today, and I'm too fucking heated to do anything else. 2 claps and a Rick. Fuck the U.S. government and fuck Donald Trump. Woo!
And now it's time for the throw punch!